How's it going, people? It is Liam Catterson here, and we are reacting to episode 17 for season 4 of Angel, as I believe we have like 6 episodes left to go. 5 after this. Yeah, 5 episodes left to go after this, and then we'll be on the final televised season for the Buffyverse, with Buffy coming to an end in 5 episodes' time for me. And yeah, it will be very, very sad, but very exciting as well to see what does happen. There's, of course, the comics to consider as well, which I believe is set after both seasons, but I guess it doesn't compare to the televised production, does it? Although you could just imagine David Boreanaz speaking and Sarah Michelle Gellar, so yeah. There's probably voice dubs online, if anything, so yeah, but still, I digress. We're on episode 17 for season 4, where the cat is out the bag, and I feel like this is going to be a pretty substantial episode. I feel like everything's going to come out in the open regarding Cordelia, and yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see what does happen and how this is going to change things for the remainder of this season, since after this we'll have 5 episodes left to go. So yeah, like I said, I'm expecting this to be a pretty big episode, after we kind of had a bit of a reprieve in the last episode, I would say. So yeah, but with that said, let's get into episode number 17 for season 4 of Angel. Let's go.
It was you, wasn't it?
Took you long enough to figure it out, but nice start.
It was
with
Cordelia all along.
There was a time I would have seen that one coming eons before it ever crossed your tiny little mind.
Because you're so clever.
On a scale of you to me? Or maybe you just don't know me very well.
I don't want to know you.
Yeah, because you're not Cordelia. Oh, no, Connor!
Not what you think.
That's again later. I should not be laughing about that.
Probably disorienting. Or maybe this thing was curled deep inside for the trip on some kind of, autopilot.
Yeah, like a
all we know
passenger.
for sure is the real damage didn't start until after Lauren's spell.
Oh, yeah, because she did have those flashes, so it was like an activation thing.
That's what I read. It wasn't wearing any. Stripped down, then gave Manny 4 blacks.
Yeah, to cover her tracks. Holy shit, so it was Cordelia.
Taking out the sphere priestesses was a lot easier.
Had a feeling, I
Slip out
guess.
while the heroes are chasing their tails, and slaughter the only hope of banishing her pet beast.
I didn't think she would do that.
Wes, Lila and I weren't exactly friends. You were mortal enemies. Why should you care
Can't
what happened to
sugarcoat
her?
that. But
Because you
Because-
did.
I was gonna say he cares for Wesley's feelings, right?
There's nothing here.
Oh!
This thing could obliterate all references to the beast.
Being good, doing the right thing. By whose judgment? Good, evil. They're just words, Connor.
I want to say
Concepts of morality.
this is sounding
they
like
forced
echoes
around
from
your
Holt,
neck
and this is,
to
you know,
yank you
giving him a
wherever they
more
please.
believable incentive
You're
to side with
with me now.
Cordy.
So I'm thinking either you've been played for a dupe like the rest of us, or
You're acting a bit
you've
suspicious.
been in on this from the start. Skippy.
Angel,
Don't play him like a fool.
whatever's going on, I'm telling you true. Not a dupe.
Maybe there's another way. A way to bring our baby into the world now. Before anyone else can hurt us.
Oh, shit.
Ah.
I'll need some very special things.
Oh, hell no.
You die, never knowing what really happened to the woman you love. Gotta respect the classics.
You're a dick. Oh! Oh! Up yours, buddy!
You really think that's
Yeah,
I mean, this might.
I do.
Hey, here's something.
Don't
Maybe
get
I
too
can-
cocky, because it will bite you up the arse.
I have an embolism. Oh God, thank you so much. she's perfect.
Fuck's sake.
Did you get everything else?
Somebody there?
I've always been here, close to your heart. After all.
Wait a second. What?
Isn't that where a mother belongs?
What? Darla? What the fuck?
To my beautiful boy.
Why'd you leave me? Did you hate me?
Save
that
you.
Baby, no. I wanted to be with you more than anything.
much? You killed
A
yourself. I
soul
wasn't
for a
even born
soul.
yet.
I
Did for
guess.
what My life. For yours. You were the one good thing I ever did. The only good thing.
Oh, she's
I'll die
echoing
every day for the
that,
rest
like,
of eternity
before her
for
death.
you. And they think that safety can be plucked from the arms of an evil deed.
Good. Evil. They're just words.
Don't let
Okay,
this
don't
happen,
need to
Connor.
echo Cordy's comment.
Don't let my death mean nothing.
She shouldn't be influencing,
You
you
really
know,
think it
your
matters?
mindset like this.
I mean, nothing I tell you is gonna change what's gonna happen.
Cut the doom and...
Sleeping with the enemy. Gosh. I love a story with scope.
No way. We make
So-
our own choices.
Yeah,
A cheese sandwich here, when to floss.
they have their own path, their
Two
own
vampires.
free will.
Squeezing out a kid.
Connor. An impossible birth to make one possible.
That's what the kid was designed for.
To sleep with mother love? To create a vessel.
Wait, so the big
the
nasty inside of Cordy is gonna give birth
Like a battery.
to itself?
Circle of life. It's a beautiful thing.
How do we stop
What
it?
the?
Well, that's the easy part, Slick. All you gotta do is find Cordelia and chop her head off. Probably a knockoff. It's not some trinket you throw in a desk drawer.
She thought it was a back scratcher. Get started.
Wait, did I say Bushandi? I meant Rushandi. It's the
Oh,
whole different...
get lost, Skip. You messed up.
Crap.
They hate us. You think I want to do this?
Then don't.
Well, his excuse is being strung
have to.
along.
Why? Because she told you? There are things happening, Connor. Things that I can't...
This thing about Skip saying no one has free will, he has that choice to side with
It has to be
Cordy
your
or
choice. You can stop this.
do the right thing.
I feel the good in you. And no
The
matter how much
conflict.
you're beaten or twisted or lied to, it's still there. In your heart.
That connection speaks volumes.
I know it. And deep down, you know it too.
It could be when you're duking it out with the Legion of Doom or just crossing the street deciding where to have brunch. So you just treat it all like it was up to you. The world and the balance. Because you never know when it is.
Good.
You've been practicing that?
A little bit.
It's a very poignant and
Hug your neighbor, kiddies.
impactful
We got it.
speech.
She didn't do anything. We should let her go.
No, we shouldn't. We need her, Connor.
Yeah. You.
Our baby.
Shouldn't be anointed with innocent blood.
Deep vision of...
My goodness. Oh wait, she can see. Oh no.
See the lies.
Connor, listen to me.
It's not her.
You have to let her go.
It's your father.
And you're not
This
Cordy.
is how much he hates you.
I love you. Please.
You are not my mother.
Oh no, I just feel so bad for that girl.
Don't do this, Connor. Don't.
There.
Fucking hell.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Screw you! Whatever the fuck you are, screw off. Oh, that's symbolic, isn't it? He's got blood on his hands. Because he made his choice.
It's coming. The beginning of a new world.
Or not.
Oh! Connor, you've been manipulated, so sit down.
bunch of panty waists.
That's not Cordelia. Leave us alone!
Connor. I'm just disappointed, if anything, not angry, just disappointed.
Something.
Leave her alone!
These things ever work? I mean, really.
Oh, is he going for the weak point? Oh, go on, Wes! Oh!
Well, that ain't right.
I'm so sorry.
Oh! Shouldn't have stalled. Ah, shit. Well, we're fucked. Oh, shit, that's Gina Torres. It's Zoe from Firefly. Oh, great.
You're beautiful.
Angel.
That's bloody Zoe. It's Zoe from Firefly. Okay. I can get behind that. I mean, we can kind of assume the worst with Cordy, so because that was that was the worrying sentiment. She's gonna die from like birthing Zoe, apparently. So yeah, I'm sure she has a name, but we're yet to get to that point anyway. So yeah, but still, I'm gonna call her Zoe from here, from until we do get a good name, because it's Zoe from Firefly. Hey, no, but yeah, that was a pretty tense episode. What with Darla's return, there was that amazing speech from Gunn, Skip trying to get inside everyone's head, saying, "Well, you don't have free will, really, guys. Everything from your sister's death to you escaping Pylea, it's all been part of the plan, buddy." So, well, we'll be very excited to see where this all does go towards in terms of Gina Torres emerging on the scene. But yeah, it was just really interesting. We had some really, like I said, really great moments from Gunn's speech, arguing about free will and the choices we make, as well as the fact that we have, well, like I said, Gina Torres, and I guess some amount of depth to Connor's character when he was being tugged to both sides by the powers that be, sending Darla, which was a really nice surprise, by the way, sending Darla to the scene, and Cordelia being like, no. And like I said, I'm really glad that we had something that was a bit more in depth with Connor, and I do hope they flesh things out once we're done with this whole mess of a situation with Gina Torres now emerging on the scene. So yeah, because I have felt like for the most part this season he's been pretty much one-dimensional in my opinion. But I feel like with the last episode he began to feel a bit of suspicion regarding Cordy, and in this episode he was being took to two different sides. We had, I'd say, as much as depth to Connor's character as we have done for the most part of the season, which is pretty sad. But you've also got to consider the fact that he's been manipulated by Holtz, he's been manipulated by Cordy, so he's basically a plaything for certain characters, and I don't know. It is pretty sad, but I just wish that more was given to him so there would be a greater sense of conflict, if that makes sense. So, yeah, because like with Holt and Cordy, it's just like he's getting beaten around so many times, and that's why I'm hoping, depending on what happens coming into season 5, that there's going to be a lot more depth to Connor's character. So, yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting seeing seeing things play out with this episode, especially with Skip, and how he made a very, very controversial opinion, I would say, because it is an opinion that I felt like, that I feel like can have the potential to ruin character development by saying, you know what, everything's been orchestrated from the start. And I feel like with Gunn's speech, it counters it, and, I feel like there is a great sense of contradiction, not just with Gunn's speech, but just thinking back into the Buffyverse in general. You think about prophecies and how that can, that doesn't have to necessarily play out the way it does. I always make a comment about prophecies being very, very tricky when it comes to the Buffyverse, and that's what I see in regards to free will, how similar it is to, I guess, prophecies, because you have something that seemingly is set in stone, and you have Skip basically say, this is all set in stone. This is what is meant to happen. Your sister dying. I don't necessarily agree with what Skip had to say, to be fair. And like I said, I feel like I more so see it as you have been nudged into that direction. But Gunn's speech about acting on your own choices as if it was your own, because that kind of put a bit of a kibosh on free will, because you don't know what moments are free or not, if that makes sense. You have to be nudged into a certain direction. These events might need to be played out, for example, but you can't think. I'm just thinking back to that speech, if nothing we do matters, because it does follow a similar path to what Skip said about, everything's been orchestrated, and Gunn's speech about how we have to be nudged. We're nudged in certain directions. We have to make sure that we have to think that certain choices are our own, because otherwise, we need to make sure that we have the idea that these choices are our own, if that makes sense. So, because we don't know what is right and wrong in us, we don't know what is right and wrong. We don't know what is free or not. And yeah, like I said, I think Skip was. Do I quote Star Wars telling the truth from a certain point of view? But like I said, I feel like these characters, they do have their own decisions. They get pushed into certain directions and whatnot. Because you've also got to think outside, outside the show from a writing point of view, that they can't have planned, this kind of reveal from the get when they conceptualized the spin-off Angel for the first episode. They can't have been like, okay, we have to make sure this makes sense, because we have to make sure that we get to a certain point where someone reveals this has all been planned for, etc. I don't think they've had that notion when they conceptualized Angel. I think more so it's Skip, especially with how much of a darker character he is compared to where we first saw him. I think he was trying to get inside everyone's heads, and he's just over-exaggerating the truth. Like, some things play out the way it does. But in his perspective, he's trying to make it out as he's trying to give these people a moment of crisis by thinking, okay, everything we do is orchestrated, when in actuality these things are destined to happen, and things need to be pushed into certain directions, if that makes sense, because otherwise it's just really, really, it really sucks if everything that we've seen on Angel is all orchestrated, has to happen, because like I said, it ruins character development, in my opinion. Like I said, with with Skip saying Gunn's sister, that was supposed to happen. Lila sleeping with Wesley, all these things I can't buy in terms of, okay, this should happen, because free will, it doesn't really exist, buddy. Then because like I said, it ruins character development, in my opinion. So yeah, I believe that certain events are influenced with these characters being nudged in certain directions, but at the end of the day, these characters still have the capability to make the decisions, the best decisions from their own choice. So whereas certain milestones are established on this certain path, these characters still have the capability to make I don't know if this makes sense, but they still have the capability to make certain decisions the best way they can. So they can take this at different approaches, but they do get nudged into certain directions. So yeah. So that's the way I feel like that's how I feel like things play out. Like that there are certain things that should happen or whatnot, but the characters get nudged into certain directions. They have the free will to act the best way or the worst way they can, depending what choice you want to make, really. So there is that sense of free will, but the way that Skip was explaining it, I feel like it was more of a psychological takeover of the mind of everyone surrounding him. So yeah, especially since, you know, he used to be a cool character, but yeah, he can just burn in hell now, which is where exactly he is heading towards after Wesley clocked him in the head. So that was a pretty great way. I'm gonna miss Skip because I did feel like he was a cool character, but you used to be so much cooler, buddy. Yeah, so yeah. That's the way I see it though, because I was a bit I don't know, baffled by what Skip had to say in that moment, because like I said, it was like, okay, well, are you saying that these characters are deprived from free will, etc., or character development, should I say, by saying they have no free will? So yeah, and I don't want, you know, things to be watered down by someone saying, yeah, you think you have free will, but you don't. Because that's what I feel like will happen to the characters if what Skip was saying was the absolute truth, the 100% truth. That I feel like characters, what they have done for the past 4 seasons of Angel, their characters have been watered down because this was always supposed to happen, etc. This is how they should have acted. So that's why I'm saying that there are certain milestones and characters getting nudged into certain directions, but how they act is the catalyst in terms of the decisions that come about. What we have seen, every milestone we've hit in the past 4 seasons of Angel, the way that the characters have behaved, you know, that's not, you know, predetermined, for example. But the, you know, landmarks, etc., from Connor being born to the, I guess, Pylea, you know, those are like areas that needed to have the characters being nudged there, but the characters act on their own accord. So yeah, so that's the way I take it. But I'm gonna move on before I make things even more convoluted, should I say? So because I feel like that's it is a very tricky subject. But like I said, I feel like with Skip, I think he was trying to get the psychological advantage about Angel investigations, because I can't see what Skip was saying as 100% truth. That, hey, you've all been puppets all this time. So yeah, but and I feel like with Gunn's speech, it was a good point, and it was good balance out of what Skip had to say, because it is a bit ridiculous, especially when you consider character development for everyone ever since we started off Angel way back with the first episode. Those characters are going to get watered down because so I feel like Gunn's speech, which was very beautifully put, was not only, well, it wasn't only a great counter to what Skip was saying and not just beautifully put, but continuing from the last episode, it was really great to continue that development for Gun's character, because of course we had the brain, like he was more than just a muscle debate with Gwen in the last episode. And that was continued in this episode with that guidance that Gunn gave to Fred regarding free will, and how we do have the opportunity to make our own choices and whatnot. So even if some things are supposed to happen or whatnot, we still have the choice. We still have the choice to make certain decisions and act the best way we can. So, Gunn's speech was really, really not just a great counter to what Skip was saying, beautifully put as well, and a great continuation of his character development as well. So it was really, really great stuff. And I really loved the beginning, filling out everything regarding Cordy, about how she killed that last totem way back in, what was it, episode 9? I think it was, yeah. But not just that, though, about how everything came to be, how she whammied Lorne as well with his abilities, and how she was awakened. Because we did see a little flash in Spin the Bottle, and that was the activation of whatever Gina's character's name is. That was the awakening of that. And Cordy has been there, but she's a passenger, so yeah. So I really, really thought that explaining Cordy's situation was pretty interesting and whatnot, but I do hope we get to see her awaken in some capacity, because I have missed this Cordy, and it's been very, very, I don't know, daunting seeing Cordy act the way, like, especially with this episode, especially with her manipulating Connor, and I do feel so bad for Connor. At the same time, you can't help but feel disappointed in a sense. So yeah, but like I said, Connor's been manipulated from the get-go. He's been yanked by Holt, he's been yanked by Cordy, and yeah, so yeah, but I did like how this episode answered a few questions regarding Cordelia and whatnot. There's still a bit of mystique regarding Cordelia, especially with whatever Gina Torres is. Seemingly, the only thing, like, now that she has fully given birth, I guess, and there was the whole giving birth to yourself thing, which was a pretty interesting idea. We do have a feeling that she has this ability to charm people, because you had Connor and all, but that could be explained with the whole relationship with Cordy. But we had Angel being like, oh my goodness, this is divine. So she seemingly has this kind of charm ability, I think. I'm not so sure. But there's still a bit of a mystique regarding Cordelia. So yeah, but I really liked how there has been a few things that were answered in this episode. There's still a few things in the unknown, but it should be very, very interesting to see how things do proceed from here. So yeah, but I'm gonna try and wrap this up because I gotta go out in a moment. So we had Darla return, which was pretty neat, and I really loved the kind of good influence. Like I said, I hope we do get to see a bit more of this fleshed out, this morality thing with Connor, especially since he chose the dark side in this episode. I do hope, like, once this is all said and done, we get to see a bit of a morality crisis regarding Connor. And not just that, though, but I think it will be a very interesting parallel with Angel, about how, because obviously Angel wants to try and atone for his past. And I feel like that would be a pretty interesting idea for season 5, if especially with what Connor decided in this episode, that would be haunting him, and for season 5 he would be on a similar journey to his dad. Not just that though, but it would be very, very great for Connor to act on his own accord, because of the fact that we've had, like I said, Holt puppeteering him, and in this season we've had Cordy trying to, and not just that though, but he's been acting, like, for the first part of the season, he was acting on his hatred to Angel. So I would like for Connor to have a bit of a reprieve once this is all said and done. But I did really like how Darla was, like I said, trying to bring the most of that conflict within Connor, because you even saw Connor being a bit conflicted. And now that he's got blood on his hands, which I thought was a nice symbolism, like even though he didn't kill the girl, he was still responsible for choosing Cordy's side rather than listening to Darla. So yeah, but not only that though, I really liked how Darla was the representation of light, because obviously we know that Darla, not exactly who we would consider a hero in the Buffyverse, far from it, but given the fact that she was reaching out to Connor, and ever since, and you know, with Connor being in her womb in season 3, that brought out the most humane levels of Darla, and so it would make sense that not just does it make sense that Darla would offer that bit of light to Connor, considering their connection, but also it was really, really beautiful as well, because Connor never got to meet his mother, sadly. So yeah, I thought it was really, really great to have that moment, as well as the, I guess, angel devil on your shoulder bit, because you had Darla being like, you have to do what is right, and then Cordy's like, we need the sacrifice to go ahead. So yeah, but I do hope that there is I do hope for Connor's sake that we do have something that happens in terms of him having a bit of a morality crisis of sorts. And, you know, what happens in this episode is kind of fundamental in terms of his, of any potential character development, but we shall wait and see. But yeah, pretty interesting episode. I really liked this. It made me think about the whole, okay, this shouldn't really, like, going back to Skip's bit, it was really interesting and made me think about, no, this can't be, he's surely over-exaggerating things. Maybe there are certain milestones you've got to reach, but these characters still have the ability to reach free will, etc. They still have their own choices to make. So good speech was a perfect balance to that. And I also really liked Angel comforting Wesley, because, yeah, he might not have liked Lila, but he knows that Wesley felt for her, and he was... and I really like the development that has happened between Angel and Wesley. When you consider that things, they weren't exactly on best terms at the beginning of the season, but they have come a long way. So I really liked that. But yeah, a pretty great episode. And, you know, it obviously, I felt like I was going through, like, revolted emotions, especially with Cordy and Connor. That's part of the course, even though you know that this Cordy, is Gina Torres in hiding, seemingly. So, yeah. It's still a bit... and not just that, though, but you do have that sympathization for Connor. Even though if, you know, some of the actions he does is a bit like... it's all a matter of he's been in this position, so of manipulation. So yeah, but I will see you guys next time. Gotta head out now. So yeah, I'll probably go in a bit more depth with this maybe in the next episode. I'm not so sure, but yeah, great episode. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens from here onwards. Maybe get a few more answers regarding Gina Torres. So yeah, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check the videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!